I know I've said it before, but you're the one who should be dealing with Dad's unfinished business. I have nothing to do with that old, decrepit, terrible eatery.
You didn't have to disrespect so many people, Miyuki. It's one of the few things we have left to remember Dad by. It has nothing to do with settling his affairs. The success of this restaurant was his life's ambition.
And what do you suppose he intends for us to do with it? It'd be different if he'd left behind a profitable business. That place is already losing money. It doesn't have a future, sis. Not only that, but it's loaded with debt that he left behind, isn't it?
Dad constructed that eatery with his heart and soul. Please quit disrespecting it. While I agree that it would have been preferable if the company had previously been profitable, running a business is not easy. Dad made blunders along the road.
Why are you addressing it as if it was someone else's problem? Dad entrusted it to you to look after, not me. I know nothing about running a business or his restaurant. The business will be in your hands from now on, sis. Best wishes.
So you're not going to assist me with my business?
No way. Why would I want to take over a failing business? Plus, I'm uninterested in restaurants.
I expected you to act this way when Dad died, but I didn't want to believe it.
Anyway, this should suit you perfectly. Did you major in business in college? Simply apply what you learned back then to assist you get the business back on track. It's the ideal opportunity to put everything you've learned into practice. Do you not agree?
While you are correct, studying and doing something are two whole different things. But I suppose it's still preferable to having no expertise of business management.
Remember, this isn't about me, so don't try to bring me into it. I don't want anything to go in the way of my boyfriend and me getting married soon. So, no more texts about that run. Down old eatery, okay?
You're really married, Nolan? When I first met him, he appeared like such a playboy.
No, you're completely wrong about him. He's a really kind guy. To begin with, he graduated from a world-renowned university. He's simply an outgoing individual.
So, if you think it's all right, I'll believe you. I was just a little concerned.
There's no need to be concerned. But I suppose that for ugly, antisocial women like you, all outgoing guys are just playboys, huh? Nolan is a brilliant individual. Most girls may only wish to marry someone as wonderful as him.
You appear ecstatic about this. So long as he makes you happy, I'm pleased. I'm too busy getting the business up and running to worry about you and your lover. Also, you realize I won't be able to keep an eye on you anymore, right?
Could you please quit acting like you're my mother? You can count on me to be okay without you?
Are you certain you won't need me to prepare your meals any longer?
Yes. I'm going to be okay. After all, Nolan is a fantastic cook, far superior to you. He's hot, kind, and a fantastic cook. There is no greater man out there. I still can't believe I was successful in snagging him.
As I have stated, I'm delighted for you. Miyuki, all I want is for you to be happy.
Several weeks later.
Long time no see, don't you think? How is your little restaurant doing? Did you manage to get it back up and running?
Nolan? We haven't spoken in a long time. What do you desire right now?
What's the deal with you? When you speak to me, you are far too cautious. I just wanted to show my sister-in-law how much I care about her. You're usually paranoid when you're around me. But don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
Could you please stop talking to me in that manner? It makes me nauseous. To begin with, I am not your sister-in-law, and hearing words like love makes me sick to my stomach.
Really? If I told most girls that, they'd fall for it. Sis, you know it's okay to relax your guard around me, right?
That's probably how most of the girls you chat to are, huh? I'm sure you attempt to flatter every girl you meet.
That's where you're incorrect. I wouldn't talk to any girl like Wei. I just think it's adorable that you're not used to dealing with actual males, sis. I wouldn't mind hitting on someone as adorable as you.
Do you aware you're dating my sister? What are you attempting to achieve?
That has absolutely nothing to do with this. Oh, but don't tell me, Yuki. She'd never forgive you if she found out about how I attempt to kiss you as well. So why don't we keep this all to ourselves, okay?
I don't really have a cause to tell her, but I also don't have a reason to hide it from her. In any case, what made you text me today?
Someone is being a sassy today. Your threats will not work on me, promise. In any case, I'm just checking in to see how things are doing at the restaurant. How's business going?
Nolan, that has nothing to do with you. Why do you keep asking?
I told you not to be too paranoid, sis. What exactly do you mean when you say it has nothing to do with me? You know I'm going to marry your sister?
Nowadays, the youth are always discussing marriage this and marriage that. Why don't you fill out the forms so you can declare you're getting married?
Do you consider me foolish simply because I am young? I'm serious, you know? Plus, there's a chance we'll inherit the restaurant, so I felt I'd check in on you.
What? Miyuki expressed her dissatisfaction with the prospect of inheriting the restaurant. She is adamantly opposed to it. A few weeks ago, she messaged me about it.
I don't believe you understand who I am. Miyuki will pay attention to anything I say to her. And if I ran that restaurant, it'd be profitable in no time. But in order to do so, I need to know how the business is going.
Thank you for showing us your entire hand. But don't underestimate the difficulty of running a business. You could wind up making a costly error.
So, you're still keeping stuff from me? What a pain. But in any case, I'm already aware of how things have been going. Have the restaurants been doing well lately? Even if you didn't notice, I've been checking in on you from time to time.
I don't have anything to conceal, so I guess that's good. Plus, things are improving, so I'm not too concerned. That said, I don't appreciate the fact that you've been surreptitiously spying on me. You could have asked me directly. I'm not hiding anything.
You say that, but I merely asked you a question, and you became agitated. So, do you believe the restaurant will be able to stay open at this rate?
Sure, I believe so. If things continue as they are, we should be able to pay off all of our debts quite shortly. Everything will be fine if I continue to write this wave of success.
This is exactly what I intended to say here. Okay, then let's get together soon. I can show you some things you've never seen before if you want.
You'll make me sick. I'm not interested in spending time with you. Don't ever text me again, okay?
The next day.
I just got the wonderful news from Nolan. Isn't the restaurant doing well?
What happened? I suppose it depends on what you understand by great. But absolutely, the eateries are doing much better than before.
That's incredible. That shoddy restaurant is finally getting the recognition it deserved. It even has a completely distinct appearance. I couldn't tell if it was the same bad restaurant as before. What exactly did you do? Did you utilize any sort of magic?
If you truly wanted to call it magic, I suppose you could. Basically, I modified its appearance to make it more appealing to the general population. Dad's style was a little too old-fashioned for the younger generation.
That's right. So, I'm guessing starting a business is suddenly very simple, right?
It's become easier, but I can't stop now.
So, I think it's finally time for you to hand over the restaurant to me and retire.
What exactly did you say?
You'll be handing it to me.
No way.
Just give it some thought and you'll see what I mean. Because you're obese and ugly, the answer should be obvious. Having you as the manager of that restaurant is such a disservice to its reputation.
What's the matter with you? Are you okay? You're making strange statements.
I may not be the smartest girl in the room, but I am certainly more attractive than you. You may be smarter than me, but your appearance is lacking. You can't have both intelligence and beauty, right?
Are you certain you're fine? You only make fun of me every time you text me. Is this all there is to it?
No, foolish. That's not the only reason I texted you. I previously stated my desires. Give me the keys to the restaurant, please. It's more preferable for a restaurant manager to be a pretty girl rather than an ugly pig like you.
All you did before was complain about not wanting to inherit this restaurant. What happened?
No, you misheard me. What I detested was inheriting Dad's decrepit eatery. But now that it's doing so well, I'm tremendously interested. So consider it, okay? People will flock to the restaurant if they discover that it is owned by a hottie like me.
You're acting as though running a business is actually that simple. You are aware that it is a lot of labor, correct? Do you really grasp what it means to be a business owner, Miyuki?
I, of course, do. So, thank you for reopening the restaurant for me. We won't need someone as ineffective as you anymore, okay? Good luck in your job search, pig.
You're really something else, huh? Whatever the case may be, I'll leave after today and turn it over to you.
That's fantastic. Farewell, pig.
Several months later,
Zelda, I need your assistance. Please return as soon as possible to the restaurant. At this rate, the restaurant will go out of business once more.
What a difference a few months can make. What did you call me? Was it ineffective? What has changed?
I swear it wasn't my intention. Our profits have been decreasing since I took control. We're going to have to close down at this pace. I thought you said you got this eatery up and running again. What exactly is going on? What is going on with me?
You ruined it faster than I thought. And here I was, offering a potential business to my adorable little sister. I can't believe all of my hard work has been for naught because of you. So, I guess it was my mistake for putting my faith in someone like you?
What exactly did you say? Oh, no. This is not the time to be irritated. Take action now. Return and assist me in running the eatery.
You understand that everything has transpired because you attempted to take over the business while knowing nothing about it?
But no one said I could.
Why? What precisely do you mean?
He assured me that if we collaborated, we could easily run this business. I only took over the business because I had faith in him. However, he ended up fleeing with another girl.
I'm stunned. I was curious as to why he deleted his WhatsApp account.
Do you have any of Nolan's contact information or his phone number?
Why would I know any of those? I didn't want to know his WhatsApp number. He used your phone to find my WhatsApp information. Then, out of nowhere, he texted me.
Oh, really? He informed me that you kept attempting to get at him.
I'd sooner die than speak to a playboy like that.
I can't believe he had a look at my phone without my permission.
I suppose I should tell you immediately. The last time we chatted, he tried to hit on me. He's the scum of the earth.
He did it. What a despicable person.
How did you get to know him?
Unfortunately, I don't. Jimmy only ever told me his WhatsApp number. I had no other way of contacting him once he moved. I'm not sure where he went.
So, after he saw the restaurant was failing, he chose to locate another girl and leave you?
I don't want to believe that, but that appears to be what happened.
You realize you're partly to blame, right? You said how simple it would be, but look at you now.
This isn't my fault. I had no idea how damaging loans and debts might be. I don't know what occurred because Nolan said we were on schedule to pay off all of our bills.
We were only on schedule to pay off our obligations because I was in charge. Because of my experience in policies, many investors sought to invest when I was leading the business. However, after you took over and the money began to fall, no one wanted to invest.
Oh, really?
Yep. However, because you did not inquire about investors, I did not bother informing you about them. Having said that, I didn't think it would be so significant in the future. But I didn't anticipate that moron of a man to contribute to the chaos and then flee at the first indication of danger.
This is unbelievable. Please return to the restaurant to assist me. There's also this new eatery that just opened. They are snatching all of my clients.
Oh, I forgot about that. That restaurant is entirely mine.
Wait, what? What?
Even though I had given up my father's business, it was still a valuable learning experience for me. So I developed a business plan based on that expertise and consulted with a known investor. He once gave me some cash. We purchased the site and built an incredible restaurant.
Are you being truthful? Why would you do something like that?
You did fire a large number of your restaurant employees, correct? They told me that you blamed them for the business's bad performance and that they should be punished for it. But don't worry, I hired them all in my restaurant.
You employed them? I'd noticed a few of them here and there.
They are all hardworking and devoted employees. Thank you for the chance to hire them all again. Miyuki, you are not fit to be a boss.
That isn't correct. This failing restaurant was imposed on me. What could I have done differently?
No. The restaurant failed due to your actions. I poured my heart, sweat, and tears into getting that eatery back on its feet. It was working fantastically well until you and your idiotic beliefs arrived and ruined everything.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what can you do to assist me? These loans must be paid back as quickly as feasible.
Act like you're the boss now. What I mean is that you must work. Because it appears that a lovely face was insufficient to keep the company viable. What a fantastic social experiment. So reflect on what you did when experiencing actual hell.
After that, as one might expect, Miyuki's restaurant declined and eventually had to close. Her sister's restaurant, on the other hand, added their father's secret dish to their menu. This boosted their restaurant's appeal, propelling it to the top of the city's food scene. Despite her feelings that the world was unfair to her, Miyuki still had bills to pay off, so she began looking for a part-time employment. This entire incident taught her a valuable lesson in life.
David, I will be hospitalized for 2 weeks.
You're going to be hospitalized?
It turned out that I have a fractured hip.
What the injury that's serious? I thought you just fell down the stairs of my parents' house.
Just fell down? It was a serious fall.
I guess. But you were just clumsy again. The stairs of my parents' house aren't that steep.
Aren't you supposed to worry about me?
I am worried. I'll come visit you in the hospital when I come back from my business trip.
Okay. So you'll be here in 3 days?
I think so.
Hey. There's something I want to tell you about the accident.
What is it?
You might not want to hear this, but your mother is the reason I fell down the stairs.
My mom is the reason? What do you mean?
I haven't told you about this. But your mother dislikes me. She's been harassing me since we got married.
What? But she invited you to their house and you visit her often. She invited you again this time again, didn't she?
Yes, but every time she did, she would boss me around. She would also pick at me. She would say things like she doesn't accept me as your wife.
That's the reason you fell down the stairs.
I fell down the stairs because she handed me many pieces of luggage on the landing. She piled up so many pieces of luggage on my arms that I couldn't see anything in front of me. Then she told me to carry them downstairs and pushed me.
But it was just an accident.
What?
You said my mom pushed you. But she didn't push you that hard, did she?
No, but the thing is, I did fall down the stairs.
Even so, that's not a good enough reason to blame her. Are you saying that she pushed you intentionally?
I'm not sure about it. But she does dislike me.
Even if she did, she wouldn't push you down the stairs. She is my mom.
Have a little trust in her.
Plus, it's common for the mother-in-law to dislike a daughter-in-law.
I've been distressed about it. I was sad and miserable having been told hurtful things.
It hasn't been a year since we married. I'm sure you have disagreements. She was just nagging at you. That's not a good enough reason to blame her for you falling down the stairs.
She also kicked me before when I was cleaning.
She kicked me? Perhaps her leg just bumped against you. Her sight could have been blocked.
It didn't seem so. That's why I'm telling you about it.
You two seemed to be getting along well when we visited their house together. What happened?
It's partly my fault because I didn't speak out. But I didn't because I wanted your mother to accept me. I just wanted to get along with her. But after this accident, I realized that it will never happen.
Mia, why don't you try making a compromise?
I should make a compromise?
My mom raised me, and I know she's not the kind of person who would do such a thing behind my back. She is not the kind of person who would hold a grudge, she's rather the opposite. First of all, she's never said anything bad about you. I'm honestly shocked to hear you blame my mom for the accident.
I'm just telling you what happened.
Still, it's also your fault that you fell down the stairs.
It may be, but
See? You shouldn't put the blame on my mom.
you don't believe me?
It's not about if I believe you or not. I'm just telling you my opinion from my perspective. Do you have proof that my mom harassed you?
No, but
I thought so. I will believe you if you showed me proof. It's a matter of perception that you feel harassed. You're just taking things too personally. I don't want to believe you based on your one-sided story.
okay. I won't talk about this again.
It's okay as long as you understood. She's my mother, I just want you to get along with her. Any family has in-law issues. You should learn to deal with it. It's an emergency. My mom got into an accident.
Seriously? Is she okay?
Fortunately, the injury was not life-threatening. But she broke her arm. She'll need care at home for a while.
I see.
And I want you to care for her. She broke her good arm and has an injury on the other. She can't do things on her own. She will leave the hospital in 2 days.
Wait. Do you want me to take care of her?
I have work, you know. You are a stay-at-home wife. And you're fully recovered now, aren't you?
I am, but I don't want to take care of her.
What? Do you still believe that she pushed you down the stairs?
It's not just about her pushing me down the stairs. I told you I didn't want to go to your parents' house again. I don't want to experience anything like the accident again. It would be best for me and your mother to not see each other.
My mom came to our house and cooked for us when you couldn't do the chores. But you're not going to help her in return when she's injured? I don't remember any issues occurring for the past couple of months. Or did my mom harass you behind my back?
I never asked her to come to her house. She didn't harass me only because you told her. You told her everything. I can't believe you told her everything I said.
I told her everything to confirm the facts. Was that a problem?
She's been playing a perfect mother-in-law in front of you. Couldn't you imagine what would happen if he told her everything? That you would put me in jeopardy? No bully would answer yes when asked if they're a bully.
Are we still talking about it? Show me proof of harassment first.
You killed the opportunity for me to show you proof. At any rate, I'm not going to their house. You should take a paid leave if she needs care.
I hate to say something like this. But who do you think is putting a roof over your head? No son wants to hear someone say bad things about his own mother.
I didn't want to say things like this. But I shouldn't put my life in danger to keep the truth from you. I thought you would believe me. I gathered the courage to tell you everything.
Anyway, you will care for my mom. Fulfill your responsibility as my wife.
I can't care for someone who's been harassing me.
The decision is final. Care for her even if you don't want to. If you can't, I'll have to think about a divorce.
Do you want a divorce? Because I don't care for your mother?
It's not because of my mom. Don't blame her for everything. Maybe the truth is that you dislike my mom. Not the other way around.
I'm so done. I will not care for your mother no matter what. I will not listen to you.
Mia! You're going to care for my mom. Go to their house the day after tomorrow.
2 days later.
Mia. My mom called me. She told me you haven't gone to their house yet.
I told you I would never go to their house, remember? She must be fine on her own if she can use her phone. She's not hospitalized like I was.
I don't know if my mom harassed you or not. But just forget about it. I will seriously get a divorce if you don't go to care for her. I'm telling you. I will get a divorce right now.
Are you sure? Then let's get a divorce today.
What?
I've been thinking that a divorce would be the only solution. I already got the papers ready. I will sign the papers right now.
Hold on. Are we actually getting a divorce?
Yeah? You said you wanted a divorce too, didn't you? You said do you do it right now?
I only said it because you weren't going to care for my mom.
I will never, ever take care of your mother. So I'll get a divorce just like you said.
Are you serious right now?
I wouldn't get a divorce as a joke. Would you? You brought up a divorce because that's what you wanted.
I wasn't going to get a divorce if you would care for my mom.
I said I will not. Don't make me say the same thing over and over again.
Are you sure you want to get a divorce over such a trivial thing?
Wow, look who's talking. You brought up a divorce.
I did, but
I don't consider it a trivial matter. Your mother has been harassing me since we got married and I've endured it. I made every effort to get along with her. But things didn't change for the better, and I fell down the stairs and got injured. I gathered the courage to tell you about the harassment, but you didn't believe me. Not only that, but you also put a blame on me.
I didn't see my mom harassing you.
I'm fed up with your attitude of not taking me seriously. Your mother's harassment led me to think about a divorce. But you're ultimately the reason I want a divorce.
Hold on. We should rethink a divorce.
Why?
I can't wrap my head around this.
You are the one who wanted a divorce. It's too late now. I'm going to leave home. Let me know when you fill out the divorce papers.
No, wait. Let's talk it out when I get home. So please don't leave home.
No! I want a divorce! I came to the conclusion that I can't stay married to you anymore.
I'm sorry. I wasn't serious about getting a divorce. I just wanted you to care for my mom.
You thought you could control me if you brought up a divorce? You thought I would do anything you tell me because I'm a stay-at-home housewife living off your salary.
I didn't mean to.
You didn't mean to what? That's exactly why you brought up a divorce. I'm not your slave or your mother's. I don't want to be forced to do anything against my will or put up with a crappy marriage. I didn't get married to be provided for by you.
My words came off the wrong way. I'm sorry.
That's not the point. I told you about being pushed down the stairs and being harassed. But you never took me seriously and assumed that I was overthinking. You told your mother everything I said without understanding our relationship. You're the worst husband for me.
I was inconsiderate.
You weren't inconsiderate. You knew what was going on and still decided to ignore it. Your mother didn't say mean things to me obviously when you were around. But she served me a different meal than the rest of you every time we went to their house. Whenever she'd bring a gift, she'd only give it to you. Don't act like you don't know it.
I thought she just favored me because I'm her son.
Would you still think so if you were in my place? If you went to my parents' house and all of us were eating a nice steak, but they only served you soup and bread, would you not feel miserable?
I'm sorry. But I thought every family had some in-law issues.
So was I supposed to just endure it? Even if I was pushed down the stairs? Oh, right. You assumed that I just fell down the stairs by myself because I don't have a proof. That's what you believe.
Mia, I'm sorry. I will pay more attention from now on. I won't ask you to care for my mom. It was all my fault. Please forgive me.
My ex-husband and I discussed it for over a month and finally came to the agreement to get a divorce. I couldn't demand him compensation as he didn't cheat on me or anything. But I received an adequate amount of property as part of the divorce settlement and do not regret my decision. What makes me happier is that I have nothing to do with him and his mother now. Word on the street is that the relationship between him and his mother has worsened since the divorce. His mother blamed him for not having a knife for women. He blamed his mother for the divorce. I will never forgive his mother for harassing me. But what was more unforgivable to me was his attitude. He will keep making the same mistake again until he realizes his problems. I've been staying at my parents' house after the divorce and taking the time to heal my wounds. Having said that, I can't dwell in the past forever, so I started looking for a job. I still feel annoyed whenever I think about him and his mother. But I won't let them get in my way. I decided to get over it and move on and be happier than them. That's what I believe is the best revenge against them.
Good afternoon, Stella. I'm Gregory, your neighbor. I noticed that you've been parking your car and having barbecues on the vacant lot next to my property.
Hi, Gregory. What's up with you? Are you being too serious already? It's just that the lot looks abandoned and we didn't know who owned it.
Well, it is mine. And I'd appreciate it if you would stop parking and having barbecues there without my permission.
Oh, come on, it's just an empty space, so I'll park it.
That's no excuse. You should have asked around or done some research before using someone else's property. And now that you know, please stop.
Why should I stop parking there? It's just a vacant lot, and I don't see any signs that say it belongs to you.
Actually, that land belongs to me, and I'd appreciate it if you stopped parking there without my permission.
I don't believe you. I only see a vacant lot with no indication that it belongs to you.
Look, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just asking you to respect my property rights and stop parking there. Even if there are no signs or notices, you should ask someone else, not park your car on your own.
Well, I don't see any harm in parking there. It's not like I'm damaging anything.
That's not the point, Stella. It's my property, and you have no right to use it without my permission. I've had enough of this argument. Please stop parking there, or I'll have to take further action.
Fine, if that's how you want to be. But I don't think you have the right to tell me where I can and can't park.
It's not about me telling you what to do. It's about respecting my property rights. I hope we can resolve this amicably.
Don't overdo it. I don't see the harm in parking here. It's not like I'm damaging anything.
It's not just about damage. It's about respecting other people's property and their rights. If you continue to park here without my permission, I will have to take legal action.
You can't do that. I have the right to park where I want.
Not on my property, you don't. And if you think you can rally your friends to fight me on this, then you're mistaken. This is a matter of principle, and I won't back down.
I don't see why you have to be so difficult about it.
It's not about being difficult. It's about standing up for my rights and my property. I hope you understand that. Moreover, you also hold a barbecue there.
Yeah, it's a small party.
That's not all. After the party, I found a mountain of trash left behind. I had to tell the cleaning staff to come and clean up, and I still have bills to pay.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So, can I apologize?
I don't think that's fair, Stella. You threw the party, and it was your responsibility to clean up after yourself. I had nothing to do with it, so I think you should pay the entire cleaning bill.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, okay? That's enough for all and without parking part.
We need to talk about the mess you left after your barbecue party last weekend. It caused a stir in the whole neighborhood. You should take a look at yourself.
Oh, fine. What do you want from me? I don't see why it's such a big deal. We just had a small party. I don't see anything that you've been complaining about all this time. Is that all?
It's a big deal because you left behind a mountain of trash that I had to tell the cleaning staff to clean up. And now, I have to pay for the entire cleaning bill.
That's not my problem. You should have cleaned it up yourself since it's your property.
It's not my responsibility to clean up after your mess. You should have kept the place clean in the first place.
That's not true. You're exaggerating the situation. I'm not going to pay for anything.
Well, I'm sorry, right? But I can't just let this go. I'll have to report this to the police if you refuse to pay.
Fine, go ahead and report me. I don't care. I won't pay for something that's not my responsibility.
That's really disappointing, Stella. As your neighbor, I thought we could come to a mutual agreement, but it seems like that's not possible.
I guess not. You can do whatever you want.
Your actions infringed upon my property rights, and I have enough evidence to support my claim.
Oh, really? Well, I'll have you know that my husband Bevis is a well-known lawyer. If you want to involve the police, go ahead, but he'll be ready to defend me.
Stella, I understand that your husband is a lawyer, but that doesn't change the fact that you violated my rights. I have documented evidence of the damage caused.
You think you have enough evidence to challenge me? I doubt it. You can try, but I'm not easily intimidated.
Stella, I don't want this to escalate further, but I will not back down either. I have gathered enough proof to show that you were responsible for the damages.
Wait, Gregory, let's not rush into this. Maybe we can find a middle ground. I understand that I might have caused some trouble, but it's not entirely my fault.
Finally, you're willing to discuss this reasonably. Look, Stella, I don't want to ruin our neighborly relationship, but the cost of the cleanup is significant. I believe it's fair for you to accept a portion of that responsibility.
Okay, I agree. I will accept a small part of the cost, but only because I don't want things to escalate any further. Let's find a fair resolution.
What? A small part of the cost? Too funny. I understand that you believe you're responsible enough for the littering. I don't see it that way. It's not just about taking a small part of the cost for the cleanup. The issue here is about respecting each other's property and being accountable for our actions.
Gregory, I've heard your complaints about me parking in your garden without permission, and I apologize for that. That's okay? You've said it so many times, I've heard it too much. However, I believe I am taking responsibility by agreeing to contribute a portion of the cleanup cost. I don't see why that wouldn't be fair.
Stella, I appreciate your acknowledgement of the parking issue, but it's not just about the financial aspect. By parking in my garden without permission, you've consistently disregarded my property rights. It's not only an inconvenience, but also a violation of the mutual trust between neighbors.
Okay, Gregory. I know I threw a party on the property, right? But when it comes to the littering, I don't believe it's solely my fault. There were other people present at the party, and they should share some responsibility as well.
Those are her friends, Stella. You need to take responsibility for your mistakes. As the host of the party, you bear the primary responsibility for ensuring cleanliness and maintaining a respectful environment. While others may have contributed to the littering, it ultimately falls on you to oversee and address the situation. Simply accepting a small part of the cleanup cost doesn't fully acknowledge your responsibility.
I feel that you're being too hard on me, Gregory. I've admitted my mistake and offered to contribute financially. I don't see why you're insisting on making me solely responsible for the littering. It's unjust.
Stella, fairness goes beyond just financial contributions. I think it's best for you to pay the full bill, end this story, and stop parking next to my car.
Okay, fine.
Stella!
Oh, who are you? My neighbor, Gregory. What bothers you so early in the morning?
You must know what I'm talking about, Stella.
Oh man, I can't remember too well. I've been busy lately, my friend.
Stella, I'm really frustrated with the situation. I've reminded you several times about parking on my property, and yet you and your friends continue to do so.
Oh, so what? You have to find them. I don't know about this. Or do you open a parking space? My friend will definitely support you a lot.
This is not a joke, Stella. I'm very upset by your actions. It's not just your car, but multiple vehicles that are occupying my land. Why haven't you taken any action?
Oh, Gregory. I'm really so sorry. I've been on a trip to Hawaii, and it's been really hectic. I didn't have the time to check my messages or deal with the parking issue. I apologize for any inconvenience caused. Okay?
I understand you were on a trip, but that doesn't excuse the fact that you've allowed your friends to park on my property for 2 days now. It's affecting my ability to use my own land. I'm growing increasingly frustrated with this situation.
I thought that since I was away, it wouldn't have a significant impact on you. I let it slide for a while, thinking it wouldn't bother you much. It doesn't take up much of your land, does it?
This is not something to be taken lightly. It's been 2 days, and your cars, along with your friends' cars, have completely covered my land. It's unacceptable for you to dismiss it as if it has no effect on me. I've given you until this afternoon to respond and take action. If you don't, I will have to handle it in my own way.
Why are you trying to make things so stressful? It's just a little story. Was out of town, and I didn't anticipate the situation would escalate to this extent. Don't you think you're worth it?
Stella, I've been patient enough. It's time to prioritize resolving this matter. If you fail to take immediate action, I will be left with no choice but to take matters into my own hands. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I cannot continue to be inconvenienced by the parking situation any longer.
All right, I'll text them then.
I think you read and understood very well what we said at the beginning of the story, right? You're smarter than I thought, aren't you? Stella, I'm willing to give you a bit more time, but I want you to understand that this is affecting me and my use of the property. Please take it seriously and take immediate action. I hope we can resolve this matter amicably and avoid any further conflicts between us as neighbors.
Fine.
All day, I waited for a long time but got no response from Stella and the cars were still parked outside. So maybe, I should do what needs to be done.
Gregory, have you locked all the wheels of the cars parked on your property? This is causing trouble for all my friends who are parking there.
Yes, Stella, I did lock the wheels of those cars. Your friends were parking on my property without permission, despite my repeated warnings. It's unfortunate that they now have to face the consequences of their actions. You don't have to be too frustrated about this. It is what it is.
Gregory, are you crazy or something? Why would you behave like that? My friends are just parking there temporarily, and now they're questioning me because of what you did.
Stella, it's important for you to understand that your friends were trespassing on my property. They disregarded my warnings and showed a lack of respect. Locking the wheels was a minor measure to protect my rights, and it's not an excessive reaction.
Well, I think you're overreacting, Gregory. You're behaving irrationally. Now I have to deal with questions from my friends because of your actions.
Stella, I believe it's essential for you to take responsibility for the actions of your friends. They parked on my property without permission, and it's their behavior that caused this situation. It's a minor inconvenience compared to the disregard for my property rights.
Gregory, I can't believe you're acting like this. You're making such a big deal out of it. You're crazy or something. It's not like it has to be done.
Stella, I'm not being crazy. I'm simply standing up for my rights as a property owner. I warned you multiple times about parking on my property without permission, but you didn't respect my words. It's important for you to understand the consequences of your actions.
Well, it's not fair that I'm being questioned by my friends because of you. They're asking me why you're behaving like this. Can't you just let it go?
Stella, I have a right to protect my property and enforce the rules that come with it. Your friends were trespassing and disregarding my warnings. It's not a minor problem when someone repeatedly disrespects my boundaries. I consider it an issue worth addressing.
You're blowing this out of proportion, Gregory. It's just a parking issue. I can't believe you're causing such drama over it. You should learn to let things go and not make a big fuss.
Stella, it's not about causing drama. It's about setting boundaries and ensuring that my rights as a property owner are respected. If you're being questioned by your friends, it's because they realize they were in the wrong. I suggest you have an honest conversation with them about the importance of respecting other people's property.
Well, I still think you're overreacting, Gregory. But fine, if it means so much to you, I'll talk to my friends and make sure they understand. But don't expect me to agree with you completely.
Do you really think that? I just heard a good story from Stella's friend. You've been collecting money from your friends for parking on my property. This is unacceptable. I have proof, Stella. Your friend showed me the bill, and I even have pictures of the entire incident.
Gregory, it was just a misunderstanding. My friend must have misunderstood the situation. I didn't ask them to pay for parking on your property.
Stella, I find it hard to believe that it was just a misunderstanding. Your friend showed me the bill with a clear mention of payment for parking on your property. This is a violation of my rights as a homeowner. It needs to be addressed.
I understand your frustration, Gregory. I will make sure to send the money back to you. It was never my intention to cause any trouble.
Returning the money is not enough, Stella. This goes beyond a simple refund. I need assurance that this won't happen again. I don't want to be disturbed by your friends parking on my property. I expect respect and privacy in my own home. Do you think I need your money like that?
I apologize, Gregory. I will ensure that my friends understand the situation and will make it clear that they are not allowed to park on your property anymore. I genuinely regret this situation.
Stella, I have given you numerous chances to rectify this situation, but you continuously disregarded my warnings. I cannot overlook your actions any longer.
Gregory, I am genuinely sorry for what I've done. I didn't realize the gravity of the situation until now. I will take full responsibility and pay for the cleaning bill. I promise I will stop this action immediately.
Stella, I appreciate your apology and willingness to take responsibility, but it's more than just the cleaning bill now. It's about respecting boundaries and being a considerate neighbor. I cannot ignore the fact that you continued this behavior despite being warned.
Please, Gregory, I'm begging you. I promise I've learned my lesson. I will do whatever it takes to make it right. Reporting this to the police will only bring more trouble and ruin my family.
Stella, I understand your fears, but it's important to address the issue at hand. Your actions have consequences, and I can no longer overlook them. I will not make a hasty decision, but I need you to understand the severity of this situation.
Gregory, please give me one more chance. I will rectify everything, and I will make sure to respect your property and privacy from now on. I can't afford to lose my family over this.
I empathize with your situation, but I can't guarantee anything at this point. I need to consider what's best for the community as well. I will take some time to think about it, but please understand that your actions have had a significant impact on our relationship as neighbors.
I will do everything in my power to make amends and regain your trust. I truly apologize for the trouble I've caused, and I hope we can find a way to resolve this without involving the authorities. Please, don't call the police. My husband will know about this.
I've decided to report this to the police and file a lawsuit, Stella. Don't hope any longer. I have reminded you so many times already. Wait for the court order. Isn't your husband a famous lawyer? You can ask your husband to do the procedure. For the next week, I no longer receive texts from Stella. The previous piece is returned, no more noise from cars in front of the house or garbage from parties. Then I suddenly received a text from Stella's husband, Bevis.
Hello, nice to meet you, Mr. Gregory. I'm Bevis. I'm sure you've heard of my wife Stella about me.
It's nice to meet you too. I appreciate your friendly greeting, but I must admit that I've been dealing with quite a challenging situation with Stella. Her actions have caused a lot of disruption and frustration for me.
Gregory, I apologize for not being aware of what Stella has been doing until now. I had no idea that she was bothering and influencing you like this. I'm truly sorry for any inconvenience it may have caused you.
Thank you, Bevis. It's been a difficult time, and I appreciate your understanding. Stella's actions have indeed been disruptive, and it's taken a toll on our neighborly relationship.
I completely understand, Gregory. It's important to maintain a peaceful and respectful environment in our neighborhood. I want to assure you that I will talk to Stella and address her behavior. We will do everything we can to make things right.
I appreciate your willingness to take responsibility for Stella's actions, Bevis. It means a lot to me that you're willing to intervene and find a solution. I've been considering legal action due to the extent of the issues caused by Stella's behavior.
I understand, Gregory, and I apologize on behalf of our family. We never intended for things to escalate to this point. We genuinely want to find a solution that satisfies you and restores harmony in the neighborhood.
Bevis, I need some time to think about this. I'm exhausted from dealing with the situation, and I want to carefully consider the best course of action. Proceedings. If your family is willing to make amends and ensure that such incidents won't happen again, then perhaps we can find a resolution that avoids legal.
I appreciate your consideration, Gregory. I assure you that we are committed to resolving this matter and preventing any further disruptions. We want to regain your trust and restore a peaceful environment in our neighborhood. Please let us know how we can make amends and find a solution that satisfies you.
I will take your words into consideration, Bevis. It's important for me to see a genuine effort from your family to rectify the situation. I hope we can find common ground and reach an agreement that benefits everyone involved.
Thank you, Gregory. I will talk to Stella, and we will take the necessary steps to address the issues and make amends. I truly hope we can resolve this matter and avoid any further conflicts.
I appreciate your understanding, Bevis. Let's work together to find a resolution that brings peace and harmony back to our life.
Thank you so much. I hope you can consider my suggestion.
I will. After a month of thinking, I decided to withdraw the lawsuit. Bevis took the initiative to meet and thank me for this decision. Sometime later, the Bevis and Stella family also moved to another town.
Linda! Are you still a housewife?
Hi, Kane.
Cut the greeting. So, why aren't you working? You don't have a child yet.
We've only been married for less than a year. I want to prioritize my time with Dave for a while. Dave agrees with me too.
Have you been splurging since you married?
I don't believe so.
Dave hasn't been sending me as much money as he used to. He only sends me $500 a month. He used to send me $2,000 before you two married. There's something wrong.
Living expenses change after marriage.
Even so, there's definitely a reason he only sends me this much money. When I asked him about it, all he said was this is the best I can do. He hasn't even been responding to me lately.
Well, he is a busy man.
I can't live on only $500 a month. Make sure to tell Dave. You can tell him if you're not the one who's spending all his money, right?
Dave and I are married now. We need to save money for our future. He can send you more than $500 a month.
You have a smart mouth, don't you? Did you tell him to reduce my allowance?
No, we decided the amount of your allowance together.
You're going to keep all his money to yourself, aren't you? I mean, you are a housewife. You live in a nice apartment and Dave gives you enough money for living expenses. Unlike me, a single woman, you don't need so much money.
Like I said, we need to save money for our future. I'm not splurging or anything.
Oh, really? Haven't you been getting on a high horse after marrying my son and becoming wealthy? My son is an elite businessman, whereas you were just a part-time worker who didn't even go to college.
To cut down expenses and save money every month. I'm not a waste of getting money.
If so, can't you send me more money? I hate to tell you this, but he managed to get a job at a big corporation because I paid his college tuition. He grew up to be an elite businessman because of me.
I'm sure you played a big role in his success. But I know that he's also worked hard to get to where he is now.
He was able to do well because of me, am I right? Besides, I don't accept you as his wife yet. I only allowed your marriage because he said he wouldn't marry anyone else. You know that, don't you?
I do. That is why I have been trying hard to gain your acceptance.
How are you trying hard? You reduce my allowance like you want me to dislike you.
I am willing to support Dave as best I can. I cannot believe that's my role as his wife.
Do you think that's your only responsibility? You're Dave's wife and my daughter-in-law. Talk to him about my allowance again. Or I will have second thoughts about your marriage. I checked my allowance. You know why I'm texting you, right?
To tell me the amount didn't go up?
If you knew, why didn't you send me more money? Did you forget what I told you a few weeks ago?
I did not forget. But I need you to understand that we have our own lives.
Are you saying you don't care about my life?
I believe you receive your pension. You also have an inheritance from your husband.
The inheritance for my husband is too little to live on. That's why I've been asking Dave for an allowance. I have to lower my standard of living if he only gives me 1/4 of the allowance he used to.
I felt like you've been spending too much money. Dave told me you used to go on a trip every month. Isn't that what you call splurging?
I should be allowed to go on a trip once a month. Do you want to take away the last thread of my happiness?
You have your own house. I'm sure you can go on a trip every few months if you cut expenses every month. Could you please at least try to reflect on your living expenses?
I've tried, and it's still not enough. That's why I've been telling you to send me more money. I really can't get through to you. If Dave can send me more money, you should work. You said it was your role to support Dave. But it doesn't seem like you're doing your job.
Why don't you get a part-time job, then? You're healthy enough to go on a trip every month, aren't you?
Are you going to make your elderly mother-in-law work? What a horrible daughter-in-law you are. Who do you think you are, telling me what to do? You are just a part-time worker with no college degree.
Does your extravagance have anything to do with the fact that I used to be a part-time worker?
I'm done with you. I'll talk to Dave. I can get through to a parasite that leeches off my elite son.
Dave said no more discussion was needed about your allowance.
You can't persuade me. I will go to your apartment next weekend.
There's nothing we can do even if you come here.
I'm coming anyway. Make sure you have the rest of my allowance ready. I will not leave your apartment until you give me my money. Hey, Linda! Did you really move out of your apartment? You said you two don't live here anymore.
Yes, it was hilarious that you actually went there.
Who do you think you are, laughing at me? I told you I would go to your apartment.
I told you there was nothing I could do even if you did.
I also found out something. Why does Dave get only $200 of pocket money a month? He is a highly paid elite. I was right, Dave couldn't send me more money because of your extravagance.
Kane, there is something else you should know. Dave's monthly salary is $700. He is not highly paid.
Huh? What are you talking about? Dave works for a big company. There's no way he only earns $700 a month.
He quit his job soon after we married.
He quit his job after marriage? Then how do you two make a living? The monthly rent of your old apartment was over $1,000, wasn't it?
I've been providing for us.
I've had enough of your bull crap. How can you provide? You quit your part-time job. Oh, I see. Are you Breaking Bad?
No. I've been working at home. I was working at a restaurant at the time I met Dave. Because an acquaintance needed a hand. I worked my main job at home.
I don't believe you. First of all, Dave would never quit his job at a big company. Plus, he didn't tell me anything about it.
He was afraid to tell you. He was also stressed.
What?
Whenever he did something you didn't approve of, you would complain about it endlessly. He quit his job because of mental health issues of him. Talking to you would have been a burden on him.
Talking to me would be a burden on him? I am his mother. I raised him into a first-class elite businessman. He owes me.
You've exploited his vulnerability and taken money from him. He made an effort and studied hard to get into the top university and get a good job. He told me he paid his tuition with a scholarship and the money he earned working part-time jobs. You shouldn't take all the credit.
He grew up to be a successful man because I'm his mother.
I don't like judging people based on if they're successful or not. Dave seemed like a successful man to you. But his mental state was broken. He was mentally ill. He looks way happier now that he works a part-time job and does the housework.
My son is working a part-time job?
Yes, that's why his monthly salary is $700. He keeps $200 for himself and sends you $500. See? It adds up.
It can't be. My son earns only $700 a month? Stop joking!
I'm not joking.
I can't believe that you provide for the family. Or that Dave quit his job because of mental illness and is working a part-time job. I can't believe any of this. You made it all up just to avoid sending me money.
I just told you the truth. Dave has been feeling better lately. So I decided to tell you everything.
Back off, you psycho! Just let me talk to Dave.
I thought you texted me first.
Don't trip me up. Let me talk to my son.
Dave and I decided not to be involved with you ever again. So you will never see him.
Huh?
We won't send you any money anymore. We won't help you again. We finally made the decision together and Dave made up his mind. Please leave him alone.
You're not sending me money anymore. That's unacceptable. I won't let you have your way. I will have my son back. Prepare yourself for a divorce and regret what you've done. Linda? I'm waiting for your reply. Please. I have something to tell you. This will be the last time, so please listen to me.
Yes?
Oh, good. Dave didn't pick up my call, so I thought you wouldn't reply to me either. Thank you for replying to me.
I will change my number soon.
I don't know if that's necessary.
I don't like that you know my number. So, what did you want to tell me?
Linda. I'm sorry for everything. I contacted you to apologize.
What happened? Your attitude is different compared to yesterday.
I just called the company Dave used to work. For they told me he quit a few months ago.
I see.
I realized that you were telling me the truth. I'm sorry I said hurtful things to you. I didn't know that you've been supporting Dave.
That's okay. I wasn't expecting your apology. I won't ask you for more than to reflect on yourself from now on.
About my allowance. Are you really not going to send me money from next month?
No.
Can you please think about it again? $500 is enough.
Did you really reflect on yourself? You receive enough pension to make a living, don't you?
To be honest, I borrowed some money from loan sharks. So I can't live on my pension.
And you had an inheritance from your husband. That is all you're doing.
You're right, but please. Please give me allowances for 3 more years.
I'm sure you can earn $500 every month if you work.
My back candies have been getting weak lately. I have trouble going outside.
You went to our old apartment just yesterday, didn't you?
I got a cab.
That's why you can't save money.
I won't get a cab as much as possible. I will also cut expenses. So would you please continue to send me money?
Dave has already given you enough money. He was sending you so much money every month that he couldn't save money for himself.
But you know, his salary was high until he quit his job. He was an elite businessman.
You call him an elite businessman, but he was just an employee. He wasn't paid as highly as he thought he was. You used to ask him for money besides your allowances, didn't you?
I will apologize to Dave too.
Dave says he doesn't want to talk to you, so that's unnecessary. All we want is not to get involved with you again.
Please, Linda. Please give me one more chance.
We gave you a chance. Dave been sending you money for a long time. I told you to reflect on your living expenses. I did what I could for you to make a change.
I used to think you were splurging. So I didn't listen to you, and...
Oh yeah, you called me a parasite.
I'm so sorry for hurting you and Dave. I will never do it again. So please don't stop sending me money for a while.
It's too late now. As it turns out, you're the one leeching off Dave. Stay out of our lives and regret what you've done for the rest of your life. I can't get through to a parasite that leeches off my husband. I haven't been in touch with my mother-in-law since then. To be more precise, she doesn't have the means to contact me since I changed my number. My husband and I are relieved to have finally broken up relations with her. My mother-in-law's words tortured my husband. Growing up, he had a harshly disciplined upbringing and was pressured to work for a big company. Since he became an adult, his mother had taken all the credit for his success and exploited him. He wanted to break off relations with her for a while. But it was difficult to get over the brainwashing he had had since childhood. Since he had mental health issues caused by work and started receiving counseling sessions, he started to recover and wanted to face the issues with his mother. He managed to tell her everything and broke off relations with her. He is finally free from her. It is clear that my mother-in-law will be in financial difficulties. But she is the one to blame. The place my husband and I moved to has no relation to her whatsoever. My husband quit his part-time job upon moving and has been helping me work from home. He also does the housework. He couldn't even do the choice when he was ill, so I'm very happy about his recovery. We will keep on supporting each other and to build a happy family.